Howdy, everyone.
Guys.
Hello.
What's up?
What is up?
Hello.
All right.
Friday, everybody.
It's Friday. It's the day before May the 4th.
You ain't got shit to do. I'm going to get you high today. Remember that movie?
No. Stephen J. mixing up the movies, but yes, 2 different movies there.
Well, what does that mean? What is
Jay's or Steve's?
The 4th.
May the 4th.
What is that?
It's self-evident.
I'm not familiar.
Gosh, I mean, it's as evident as March the 14th or June the 28th. You know what those days are called.
All right. May the 4th be with you. Right. And in that honor, we're going to watch the Star Wars Holiday Special from 1978.
No.
No commercials.
Oh, that's great.
Are you guys ready for the next hour and a half?
Ready.
Hour and a half.
Do it.
I'm leaving. I won't subject you to that.
Wookiees grunting for an hour.
Actually, I'll play a little bit of it just so you
Oh, please, yeah.
Right here.
You don't know this.
There it is. Look at how good this looks.
And this came out right on the heels of Star Wars.
Don't
forget. 77, I think, when this came out, right?
Jay didn't even realize what it was.
78.
Did you?
Was it 78? Okay, 78. So a year had already
God.
gone by in which Star Wars had steeped into the culture.
Music, too. It's already...
Are you gotta be kidding me, man.
What were they thinking?
Are these supposed to be Wookiees?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Did you never watch this, Steve?
Never.
You refuse to watch
know
it?
nothing about the Star Wars special?
You gotta watch. I've even watched
Christmas
it,
special?
and it's like, it's so bad. You can't watch it. It's
It's
terrible.
unwatchable.
It's unwatchable.
That's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah, there's no subtitles. It's just for an hour.
But with special guest appearances by, like, I don't know, Roberta Flack or some, I mean, like these, like,
crazy.
And Cloris Leachman was in it.
Oh my, Cloris
Leachman, right? So it was supposed to be, in the 70s, they had these Sonny and Cher show things, right? These were like variety shows in which you'd have guests from all walks of life kind of walking in, doing skits and doing it. This was kind of that in a Star Wars setting.
Harvey Keitel as well. Look,
Harvey
Arthur,
Keitel.
Harvey Keitel.
Harvey.
Oh my
I mean, it's clearly just a money grab, or just like Star Wars is ridiculously popular and unexpectedly so. We have to somehow leverage this into some kind of special, and they had no freaking idea what they were doing.
And there are documentaries, or not official ones, but on YouTube you can find about it and why and how it came to be. And I can't recall all the details about it, but it just not only ill-conceived, but the actual getting to the point of having it made and aired was this total series of train wrecks. Effectively, like people, like directors and producers quitting in the middle of the project and stuff, and people, actors from the original movie, like refusing to show up and do this and be part of it. George Lucas, I think, had also had something in which he refused to even acknowledge this thing. It is crazy. It's like a drama behind it. And it just turned out to be, well, as good as you could have predicted it would have been. I remember being extremely confused because I was 8 years old at the time that it came out.
Yeah.
And, excited for it and then watching it as it happened. But at the same time, just really not entertained, but curiously confused as to what was going on, why it was going on. And just what am I supposed to do with this information? It was such a disconnect. That took you fully outside of the realm of space, science fiction, fantasy, whatever you want to call it. That you just were lost as a kid. I was totally lost.
It's possible I watched it when I was younger and just wiped it from my memory. And that those memories can only be recovered under hours of deep therapy
or shock treatment.
I remember it and remember losing interest in about 15 seconds.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh no.
You
see, you guys had the
albino Wookiee chewing tobacco didn't do it for you, Jay, or whatever the heck was going on there.
If you look at the very beginning again, when you see like that pale Wookiee, it looks like it's smoking crack.
Yeah.
And that would make sense for everything that comes afterwards. It's like it's tripping out on crack.
It was actually behind the scenes footage. Yeah.
The actor had to get by somehow.
I think it was more Calaxian crystals that was tripping out.
But if anything, AQ6 might want to take a look at that, and one
that would be a good one.
That would be.
Oh my goodness!
Watching you guys review that would be a
discuss the science of this. What is the science?
My lore could be incorrect here. I think this was the second place that the Boba Fett costume showed up at.
Yes, Boba Fett, I think in cartoon form showed up.
That was the first.
It was like, this is the official, unofficial. So I don't know if you guys watch another podcast or vodcast called Thank the Maker. It's with it's obviously a Star Wars podcast, and it's with our friend and SGU listener Adam Russell from the band Story of the Year. He hosts the show, and I asked him once, I said, is that considered canon? Right? Is the Star Wars Christmas special considered an official part of the universe? And he said yes, in a way it is, or pieces of it. For example, and he listed the Boba Fett reference as the example, the first kind of official introduction of Boba Fett, and that somehow is considered an example of how it is part of the canon. So therefore, I think you have an obligation to watch it.
Yeah.
But why were the Wookiee costumes so horrible?
Because they weren't movie quality. They whipped them together for the TV show.
Yeah, I get that, but why? I mean, why?
Well, I think
but it was a straight to VHS TV.
Yeah,
movie, right. Like it wasn't a TV.
It had one live viewing, one live airing. Well, airing, recorded but live, and then shelved again. I think Lucas had there was a contractor stipulation like saying that this would never ever make it out again on any kind of medium, but it eventually did. And I think the reason why we're seeing crappy costumes is because video at the time was a lot less forgiving than, say, a film camera would be when it came to things like costume material, fabrics, and those sorts of things. You couldn't get away with it. Plus, I'm sure certain budget limitations. It's one thing to have one Wookiee in one movie, and there's another thing to have a TV show thrown together, herky jerky all of a sudden and you need 80 Wookiee costumes all of a sudden. There's bound to be a lack of quality, and that's what happened in the Planet of the Apes as well, if you recall. About especially why some of the sequels, the quality of the ape costumes
went down.
Took a total absolute nosedive because of budget cuts to the special effects that funded those movies, and they had to just take all kinds of shortcuts. I mean, basically in those movies you had some people wearing like it was like Leatherface put on somebody's face as a mask, as you know, and that was a ape.
Yeah,
right. And that's kind of what it was reminiscent of. But they masked it. They covered it up by taking a lot of fast shots, quick cuts, panning shots, you know, tricks of the camera, so that it was less evident as to the absolute crap quality of the costumes. However, it shows up in a format like the Star Wars.
Beep. We're just getting information in that the Boba Fett, I don't know if you mentioned this, in the Star Wars holiday special was during the animated segment only.
The animated segment.
It was animated.
Oh, so that was the first time. Then.
That was But even more, beep. Boba Fett first appeared in public in costume at the San Anselmo County Fair parade
with a guy in a Darth Vader outfit
in September 24th.
That was an in-person thing, but not mass media. You know, it wasn't
sure.
Like,
but that must have been promotion for Empire at some point in 1980.
Mm-hmm. So
well, remember there was a while where they didn't know what they were going to do with that costume. They had the armor.
Well, I'll tell you what their intent was.
It was white.
It was going to be some special kind of.
It was going to be a souped-up stormtrooper.
Super trooper.
It's cool how, like, you know, you think like everything must be totally mapped out. They know exactly what they're doing, but there's so much white noise in the creative process.
Yeah, there's so many creative zigs and zags in any kind of process like that.
Oh gosh, yeah, and compromises and things you never see. I mean, you know, it's really when you see a stage presentation, you're seeing what's happening. You know, within the box.
Happening?
You have no, you don't have any clue what's going on behind the curtains, backstage, and everything else. It's like a crazy show.
But do you think it's genius or luck?
What
he did, what he was. Yeah, I was like, what
with Boba Fett, like where he.
No, just in general, like what George Lucas was able to do at that time period.
Oh, that's a good question.
As a creator, as a creator, creating the universe, making the first movie happen. I mean, he was surrounded by brilliant people, including his ex-wife, who was his wife at the time, who did the final edit. But the problem is that George Lucas, like so many creators, needs an editor, you know, a quote unquote editor which Ray Kurtz was his producer, and that was his role, was to bring him in and say, no, we can't do that. We got to do this. That's why movies 1, 2, and 3 were so horrible, because it was 100% him. No, nothing. Nobody was ever saying, can't do that. That doesn't make sense.
Well, Lucas didn't even direct 2 and 3. I mean, like 5 and 6, right? He just
5 and 6. He did not direct.
Well, he did help finish directing 6 because
because McQuaid, or was it McQuaid?
The guy was like failing at the job.
Yeah,
he couldn't do it. I mean, did you know that Steven Spielberg almost did that movie?
Thanks, Michael Wagner.
No,
really.
Steven Spielberg almost directed the third one.
You know, he co-directed the opening bit of that movie, right? The action sequence scene of of Obi-Wan and Anakin in their fighters, you know, and in the war that's occurring above Coruscant. Is that where it was?
No,
Spielberg actually did that part, like the first 12 minutes of the movie.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought Spielberg was on the list of people that could do Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Could be, but wasn't he tied up too much with the Indiana Jones project at the time? Either that or the sequel, or the Indiana Jones sequel. One of those two.
I don't know. I don't remember. What I do know is that frickin' Lucas said after doing the first Raiders of the Lost Ark that he didn't know what, like, to him there was no more story there.
Wow.
Like, holy shit, dude! How can you co-create such an unbelievably awesome character, like one of the best characters, in my opinion, I've ever seen? And be like that.
Says the second one is not good.
I mean, it's fun and it's
Second one's very good.
I like the
but,
second one too.
the
third one's even better.
Third one's better.
Yeah.
I saw the third one. It totally holds up. Temple of
Shut up, chat.
But the first one's the best, and then everything after 3 was shite.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know it's hard. Sequels are so freaking hard you can't recapture lightning in a bottle. You can't. It's never the first time again. But like when I watched the second movie, I'm like, oh, I see. Like, yeah, he's making movies actually for kids. That was my impression. And I was young. I mean, I was what?
Spielberg was doing Poltergeist at the same time. That's right. Yeah, I think that was right. Yeah.
Star Wars Guide to the Universe.
Poltergeist was a good movie.
It was right there the whole time.
What's happening, right?
It's unfortunate. Spielberg's one of these people, if I may, that he's a fantastic director. I think, no doubt about it. The man is a master craftsman.
Let me just full screen these so you get the hate.
No doubt about it. I won't be too long. Okay. However, what he is out there also at the same time. He is definitely paranormal. He's part of the paranormal crowd.
Oh yeah,
no doubt about it. He believes in extraterrestrials.
Oh man,
no doubt about it. Believes.
I
in
hope
things
that
like
you're not right.
And
That's
spirituals and exorcisms and all that kind of stuff. So it's one of those things, we've talked about it before, where there's so many people you admire for their craft, but then you look at all the other things that compose an entire life of someone, and you just have a hard time stomaching some of it. Yeah. So unfortunately, Spielberg for me is one of those people. But damn, he's made some great movies.
There's not a lot of skepticism in Hollywood. We just have to accept that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
And the few glimpses we've had from insiders who are skeptics who've talked to us about it, like it's bad.
It's worse.
It's worse than you imagine.
You can't. You can't. When the fact that he wrote the world, the universe of Star Wars.
Yeah.
That alone, like I could forgive him of everything after creating that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like as much as I would love,
it was pretty good world building.
I don't know. I wouldn't say pretty good, Steve. It was.
I don't know. I have a lot of notes for him.
Yeah, He wasn't a guy that like knew how to do world building. Like he wasn't a practiced world building guy.
That's what I'm
but he came up with some unbelievable ideas, and Star Wars definitely is bigger than him. Let's put it that way. That's exactly how I feel.
Thank goodness.
I agree.
When you had the geniuses who created all the special effects. John Williams writing the music.
Oh, John Williams.
Oh my God, the GOAT.
James Earl Jones, voice acting Darth Vader, and I think he did the entire movie in a few hours in the studio.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
And you listen to his performance, it's unbelievable that was just voice acting. Like, how could he have not been on the set and getting the vibe from the other actors? And you think about that, he did it with Lucas and another guy in the studio.
Yeah.
Okay. And this
he's a brilliant actor,
James. You're Darth Vader. You're this 7 foot tall, cyborg, and you're talking to Princess Leia. Who's Princess Leia? Doesn't matter. She's short. Say the line. You know what I mean? Like Lucas is not a director. He doesn't direct people. He tells them like more.
Maybe he had some visual aids, just sketches or something. To help
probably, but I mean, it's worse than being on a green screen because you're basically in a booth. You know what I mean? For him to
there's nothing to act. There's nothing to bounce off of. There's no,
exactly.
It's hard to put your brain into.
Olivia said, "Did you hear James Earl Jones sold his Vader voice for perpetuity? In perpetuity?
Yeah, he sold it to. He sold it to Disney, so they could digitally remake the Vader voice forever now.
Well,
okay.
I mean, he lives on, I guess, in a way.
Does he own a character voice?
You own your. You can't. Yeah, you do. You can't.
You own your voice.
You can't reproduce somebody's voice unless they give you permission to do it. And
but even if your voice is being you contracted to be of character, and the voice is part of that character, right?
They can't take. It's part of the contract. Like a lot of contracts will say you can use your likeness as the character. You know what I mean? I can use your likeness for marketing as this character, but you can't in perpetuity use somebody's voice. And what he did was he gave them digital samples of his voice. Like they did this whole thing where he said like 1,000 words as Darth Vader. So a computer can mimic it and we got it, which is
We're gonna have
fantastic,
him
man.
forever
Steve.
as like
Yep.
the bad
Steve,
guy.
you had that intro from Darth Vader for the show that somebody did that was really good. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
I
is
had
that
that made.
Is that
Oh
him?
yeah.
You have?
Yeah,
you
I could look
It's
that up.
somewhere, yeah.
I got it. Hold on.
Have to
Let me
look it up.
find this.
Like
Hold
an
on.
impersonator.
Yeah, hold on. I got it. Just keep talking. I'll
I
get
wonder
it.
if
Ian,
yeah.
I just sent you a link
Okay.
for a Google Drive with some images from the East
Uh-oh.
Coast Hunters Convention pictures that I went
Okay.
to this past weekend. If you want to,
Yeah,
show
let
them,
me pull those up.
Yeah.
take a look.
this
We
the
can do it
right
next
folder,
week if
Ian.
we got too much stuff.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Don't take from the
what
folder
link?
marked NSW.
Yeah, the usual folder Bob sends me.
Right.
I wonder if that's what happened with Uncle Iroh from Avatar. When Mako, he died, the voice actor for the first season and second season died, but then there was another voice actor who basically sounded like him.
Mm-hmm.
But was he impersonating Mako, or was it just the fact that he
Oh
sounded
man, did he
like
die?
him? Yeah, Mako died like
That's
in the
sad,
second
man.
season. Yeah.
Wow.
He was an awesome actor.
Yeah.
That's the episode that always gets me for anybody else who watched the animated series, the one where he sings like Little Soldier Boy or whatever. When at that, you should watch that episode. It's like, oh God, I'm gonna hold it in. Ooh.
Ian.
Yeah.
I sent all the files to you in your email.
Okay, thank you so much. Bob, I didn't get yours email. If you can go ahead and send it. And don't worry, chat. We will move on to science and skeptical topics.
Yeah, there's other things to talk about.
God. These nerd haters.
I mean, come on. It's, it's tomorrow's
Star Wars
May 4th.
Day.
That's why. It's
We
only
can't
once
talk
a
about
year.
Star Wars now. Like, what the hell, I mean,
Right.
I'm not talking
All
about live action.
Let's talk about Gaza. And
wait, no, hold on.
Israel.
Hold on.
Wow.
Before we
What a
close out the
segue.
Star Wars thing, Ian's going to
Jesus
play that
Sorry, go
voiceover
ahead.
stuff.
Wait, you want me to play all these? Oh, okay. Wait,
Well, yeah,
let me try to download. I gotta download each one. Oh Lord! All right, here we get this one, and then this one, and then which one was the best?
Just play the 002, I think.
002. Okay, here we go. 004, 002. Here we go. Stand by, everybody. It's happening.
By.
Don't worry. Of course, I now put it in the download folder, and now I don't know where it is. Okay, there's. Oh God, Lord.
Yeah, Jim Saul. We know about that.
Wow, here we
article,
go.
By the way.
Here we go. Share this one. Why is it not sharing?
What's happening?
What's happening? That's from Poltergeist.
What's happening? Oh, there it is. Sorry.
Here we go.
There we go. Now we got. Okay, now listen up, everyone. Quiet.
All right, listen up.
You're listening to the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe. Your escape to reality.
Nice.
Pretty good.
I like that.
That was good.
So I purchased was the Jerky Boys guy because it was legit.
Jerky Boys guy.
That cost us money.
Yeah, it was $50.
Money over here.
James,
we have
James didn't do it for free.
the Futurama.
Oh yes,
that was real.
Ian Mutiny.
That was authentic.
Lord. Okay,
that
bye-bye.
was.
He's got a doctor for a minute.
Oh, he's always doctor.
Oh, Steve, that's right. Yeah, he gets called.
That is the wrong accent. What do you mean, New Zealand? Was he doing like the Mufasa accent, but as Darth Vader?
No, it was just a voice actor. It wasn't James Earl Jones, guys.
No, I know, but like the impersonator might have been like doing the James Earl Jones doing
Really?
Mufasa doing.
No, that was
Vader.
the best. That was the best he could do as Vader. He.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't. Why would he do that?
Okay,
It's like,
I'm just checking with Lou. I'm just,
Jay, at some point, I'd like you to
Hello.
uncover the promo piece we did for SGU, the Harry Potter.
I can find it right now. I got it.
Oh,
I got
man.
everything, man. I got
Those are great.
Love that.
Harry Potter.
The accent was not James.
Oh, Christ, you started it again.
Do it again.
Good old Steve.
So, we do have a fun story that I'll bring up that Evan shared. This Ohio company's flamethrowing robot dog Terminator is now available for sale. Anybody interested in that?
Oh, sign me up for 3 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't to stop you have an army of these things,
So is this not the dynamic? What is it called?
No, I don't
Boston
think
Dynamics.
it's a Boston Dynamics.
Yeah, it doesn't look the
product.
same because I thought it was yellow. And
Let me find the.
Ian, I shared it with you
article
on
here.
your work email.
thank you so much.
Do.
Wait.
Let's
I think
see.
Steve is back. Steve, you back?
I'm back. Yeah.
Very good.
Oh no! Somebody put a flamethrower on one of those.
So
Oh,
yeah,
no.
this is an Ohio company, which seems about right for Ohio. But a flamethrowing robot dog is now available for sale, $9,000.
That's it. That's cheap.
I know that is
Get one.
And you could probably finance it too. And
I think we should put it in the studio.
60 down, 60 monthly payments.
I think that thing would be perfect for a zombie invasion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
Fire.
What the fuck would you do with that?
You don't want to set zombies on fire.
I know. Thank you.
Why?
I was like,
they will set the place you live on fire.
Yeah, they just become like mobile torches.
Got to be very careful setting zombies on fire.
They'll eventually.
Hey, Bob is the zombie expert. You have to listen to him.
I am. I believe it. He's right. I immediately acquiesced. I mean, you're right, Bob. You go to a different neighborhood. That's all you do.
A different neighborhood.
So this dog is nicknamed the Terminator.
That is a great name.
It weighs 37 pounds, features a 30-foot firing range, laser sighting, LiDAR mapping. Bob, you'll be interested in that.
LiDAR.
Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
The flamethrowing robot dog can be used for wildfire control and prevention, agricultural management, ecological conservation,
getting even with your enemies,
snow and ice removal, among other many common household.
That's bullshit. Because flamethrowers don't do anything to snow and ice. I've seen it.
Oh, right.
They actually don't do anything.
Isn't that the whole like myth where like you put a lighter under it and it turns black and everybody's like, see, it's the government plastics or something?
What?
You haven't seen that?
Oh, no,
Didn't you review one of those TikToks, Steve?
Maybe.
Where somebody put a lighter underneath a snowball.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah.
It's not melting.
It's black because the snowball is plastic, or there's carbon in the flame from the lighter.
Yeah.
You know what I don't like? Like somebody buys this, right?
Yeah.
And then the very next thing that happens is they go, all right, so where could I use this?
Yeah.
That's dangerous, man. Like you don't want people like off the cuff coming up with places to fire a flamethrower.
And apparently this is not considered a firearm, even though, as one of our friends said, it's literally a firearm.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, you can. All 50 states you can own this, and with some restrictions apparently in California, and what was the other state? One other state has a restriction on this. But generally speaking, it's legal to have. I mean,
in America, of course it is.
But
Oh, Lord.
I mean, but something like this, you. I think your first look at it, you'd say, all right, this is going to be used in combat somehow, right? In a battlefield. So,
I think the stormtroopers should have had droids with flamethrowers on them.
Someone said in the chat, now the crematorium comes to you.
Yeah.
That's literally like the subtitle of a movie.
Yeah, bear control. I would do it.
But rational people, like if they
possibly go wrong.
Like, for example, if I was at some protest and somebody came in with one of them and then just did a test fire, I would immediately leave, like immediately get the hell out of there.
Well, that's
that might be good for crowd control.
I think that's
your survival instincts.
Not a good thing. Bob, do you want to show your images? Did you want to jump to that real quick?
Did you get?
I got them. Yeah, and there's movies too. But so let me know if you want to play one of those instead. But Bob had some. Speaking of zombies, some eventful.
So this is
events.
This is Penhurst Asylum in Pennsylvania. Haunted conventions now, typically a day or two before the convention, they can bus you to a fully operable haunted house. So we went to Penhurst Asylum. I went with my zombie partner, Amanda. And
Town and state, please.
This was amazing. Penhurst Asylum. This was an amazing haunted house.
Where is Penhurst Asylum?
Before you continue, wait, hold on, guys. There's some nasty stuff coming up. If you don't want to see gruesome stuff, like don't watch this.
It's not real though.
It's not real, but it's still.
It could be somewhat visceral
with intestines and nasty stuff. So
let me skip those first, and I'll show this. There, that's nice and cute.
Bob, where is this place?
Oh, there's a knife in a head. I didn't notice that.
It was right outside of Philadelphia at the Philadelphia Expo. So this was one of my favorites. I just loved turning the whole concept around of carving a jack-o'-lantern. Here you got these two jack-o'-lantern kids carving a pumpkin, a head, a human head.
That's
So I
cute.
thought, so I actually bought that head, and I bought the pumpkin on the left, and I'm going to create the body for him, like he's carving the head. So that'll be one of my little small.
Wait, that thing had a price tag of $800. Is that right?
$800.
See that on the
That's for the whole thing.
Yeah, that might be. I don't know.
On that gold and black dress on the left there, on the right.
Gold and black. I thought it was blue and white.
That's a joke. Yeah. It says $800. Was that for the mask for the whole thing? What was that?
That might,
I think it was probably Carver Kids, so I think it's for the two kids.
For the two kids, I see.
Yeah,
okay.
All
right.
There's this. That's pretty good.
He was like 12 feet tall. He was pretty damn impressive.
Did he have that crabby kind of thing in the movie? I don't remember. Or is this just like a reimagining?
Oh, is this Pennywise?
Yeah, it's Pennywise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks a little like zerged out.
What, Jay?
Pennywise-ish.
Does that thing move?
No, it didn't move.
I don't think so.
Is that kid to scale that he's holding?
I don't.
Pretty much. Oh,
yeah, no, it's a real person.
He was gargantuan. He was one of the biggest props there. This was a fun display. So that's Amanda. You go there and you pretend like you're being ground up and your bits go into a conveyor belt.
Oh, fun! That's fun for the whole family.
They sold that. It was gone at the last day of the convention. It was gone. So they sold it. I wish I knew how much it went for, but it was a pretty decent prop.
For sale. Make an offer.
Yeah, there you go.
Make an offer.
Could have been $20.
So how many hours? How many man hours does it take to make something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's
pretty serious stuff, man. It's got mechanical parts,
Well, definitely Home Depot. Look at that. That's a Home Depot screen.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It wasn't
energy efficient.
A little bit. This one's pretty.
This was my favorite silicone mask. This was like $350. I mean, I was thinking about buying it, but I don't have a. It was just like It's beautiful though. That thing it's a beautiful.
Nice detail.
And
very
detail was off the hook. So there's me in my costume with one of my friends.
Which one is you?
Yeah, I think I'm the one on the left. And then you can see Harvey on my back.
Harvey.
Harvey.
That's right.
Harvey.
Reminds me of Dark Harvest.
It was fun walking around and getting.
All right, here's the more visceral ones. Slightly. Oh, what? Why did it kick me off?
Oh,
it stopped sharing. It said no, we're not sharing that.
Oh, it
literally kicked me off.
It's that new smart internet feature where AI takes over and says, nope.
Particularly visceral, so look away if you don't like it. That one's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm. It's literally visceral.
It's awful, right? Awful, whatever.
This guy below here, the picture below, was one of the most impressive artistically, technically. It was just so, it looked absolutely real. It's not my style of corpse. I like my corpses more mummified.
$1,500.
And aged.
Whoa.
But it was really.
There's a lot of, look at the veins.
Amazingly well done.
And boils and stuff.
Bob, what do you think about that incision?
Oh, yeah.
That's
is that an accurate autopsy incision?
That's an autopsy incision as far as I can.
Does the doctor?
That is an accurate autopsy incision called a Y incision for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I've made those myself.
Does the doctor tend to do this, like draw a face?
Yeah, look at that. I didn't even notice that. Holy crap, man. That's awesome. A little face in the.
Yeah, if they get bored.
I like this face just popping down.
Hey, what's going on here?
Hey, guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want that corpse. It was just, it's not my style.
Yeah. Did you want me to show any of the videos, or is that good?
Yeah, there was a couple that were really, really creative and fun. I could point it out to you. Which one?
Okay, there's like an engine one.
Yeah, with the skull on top.
Yeah, let me
do that one. This one blew me away. This was so creative and unique.
Crap, I got to do it a little bit different.
It was very unique.
Stand by.
Right, Steve?
Very unique. Okay. Stand by. It'll happen.
I have a very unique PIN number.
Oh, nice.
How many things can you say to get Steve upset? In one sentence.
Local video requires what? This video's. I'm sure it's. Let me try. Okay, never mind. Sorry. This thing's yelling at me for not doing it correctly. Okay, here we go. This one might play a little funny. And
audio.
There we go.
Take your lens cap off.
Yeah.
I heard Steve saying, "Bob, take your lens cap."
Take your
It
lens.
was black screen for me.
Yeah,
it's
for me
black?
as well.
Yeah, that's
Really?
fine. Whatever.
you get the gist.
Whoops.
Just
I
use your
tried to upload.
imagination.
Was it for black for everybody? You didn't say anything? Okay.
Yeah,
Let me open it a
it
different way because it was. I tried to upload it and it was. Sometimes it's dumb, and that's sad. Here, this is a different way to do it. There, you can see it now.
I see it now.
There you go. There you go.
So he's behind there operating it.
So it's a little steampunky there.
So a steampunk zombie.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a goofy, creepy thing. I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Cool.
It was fun.
There was you have a video of them. Oh, they're actually moving their hand for the stabbing.
$2,500
of the head.
Expensive hobby you got there.
There's this one. Bada bing. And they actually do a little stabby. Cutting.
Carving.
That's fun.
Need the psycho music going on there.
We'll close that
Yeah,
one.
I love that shit.
Cool.
Oh, there's a hanging corpse. We could show that one off.
Which one? Is this the guy that's upside down?
Upside down.
This was a costume. This was a costume. It was so
was
creative.
somebody actually in it?
Yeah, I never saw anything like it. Yeah, this is guy. Yeah, it's an upside down costume.
Every
this guy
month.
was you'll see that he walks in it.
Oh, I can see his feet now. I can.
So you'll see him walk in a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
And he's looking out through the crotch.
That's funny. That's good.
Clever.
Yeah, no, I had never seen anything quite like that. So that was always
Okay, and we got one final one in terms of videos. And here we go.
Whoa.
Bada bang. Oh, that's awesome.
I love it. Yeah, they're a little expensive, so I didn't get any of them.
I would take the pirate one, I think.
Arg. That's very cool.
So fun weekend was had by all. It was good. They also have classes. You could go and go to a class.
Sleep well tonight.
Sorry, guys. You can learn different aspects of haunting, and so I didn't actually do any of that, but I wanted to. Just didn't feel it. But I think next year, though, I may need to go to one of the bigger conventions.
That one wasn't big enough for you?
No.
Well, what is the biggest? Like, there has to be one.
Like Trans World and Midwest Haunters is probably twice as big as that, with many more vendors, many more classes. But that requires a plane flight, and that's why I haven't gone. This was just a 4-hour drive down into Philadelphia. So plus, if I buy a big prop, I could always still just drive it home. I won't have to ship it. But yeah, it was fun. Very, very good.
Right up your alley, bud.
Nice, halfway to Halloween thing.
Oh, geez, are we at the halfway point?
Get my creative juices running and going again.
For Halloween, we're already at the halfway point.
Oh my gosh,
Yep.
how many days until Halloween?
Oh boy.
How many days until Halloween? We have 181 days, Bob. You're right at the halfway point.
Yeah.
Does anybody in the chat have any questions for us before we start talking about more Star Wars?
We have other topics we can jump onto. There's a new quote unquote diet trend. You guys are familiar? Have you heard of this new trend?
Does it involve eating insects?
No, it's not actually a trend. It's just I was trying to figure out a segue. Somebody recorded their delivery of their baby giving birth, and it apparently burned over 1,200 calories. It took about 5 hours.
Okay.
Heart rate of 116 to 178. So that might be the new thing. How many calories does it take to make a baby? Honestly, that's the question.
Okay.
And also, I don't want to know actually, because how they find out about calories is usually whatever. Anyway, so that's an interesting.
Oh yeah, what was someone's asking what's the time length there is? Let's see.
I don't know if you can read it if it's illegible, but it says 5 hours, 3 minutes, and 45 seconds.
Woo.
I recorded a labor birth as a workout, and you can see the heart rate. Pretty fun.
Oh, I see. Cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Breastfeeding burns a lot of calories. It's
That's
very
true.
Oh yeah.
calorie demanding.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, I bought your daughter Autumn this will probably be her birthday present at the convention. This is a cool little thing. And
Nice.
the real fun though is inside.
It's a real heart.
What do you think? What's inside?
Of course.
skeleton.
Mummy. Skeleton.
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 Open the damn thing.
Whoa.
Jesus.
Well, we didn't answer
Ghost or
correctly.
candle?
Jay.
Evan, right? What the hell is happening? Oh my God.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I'm getting old, Bob. I don't have time to wait for dramatic
for,
pause.
for things to open.
Gotta cut to the orgasm.
Let's go.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, that's what. No, never mind.
Never mind. Thank you. Wow, don't just let it go. Speaking of ghosts, Evan, you sent this story
Oh, I
in.
did?
I think so, or at least you sent it to me.
Okay.
Explore the unknown, ways to celebrate World Paranormal Day.
Oh, hell yeah. Happy World Paranormal Day today.
Today, apparently.
By the way, okay.
I am a ghost.
I love this article. Let's
Oh.
see. And on
What?
May 3rd, it's World Paranormal Day. Yeah.
That costume. Oh
It's
my
better
God.
than the Wookiees.
It's better than the
no, it's not.
Wookiees.
Totally.
It's terrible.
Well,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
but I think you're right. It is better than the Wookiee. And less obnoxious,
Yeah,
certainly.
Hey, I forgot to show you guys something.
May 3rd.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty funny.
My friend made this for me.
Well, let's see. Wait, hang on.
Hold on,
Interlude.
let me full screen you.
Interlude.
A little brief interlude.
That
up,
is
up higher, Jay.
That's a Jawa gun, right?
Yep.
Oh, life size
Oh, wow.
too.
Yeah, so I gave the model to my friend. I bought it at DragCon. I gave it to him because he's a model maker.
It's only a model.
Paints figures, you know. And he seemed really excited about it. And then like 2 weeks later, he gave it to me. He's like, I can't take this from you. He's like, here, I painted it. This is for you, you know. And I was very happy. It was very cool.
So that weapon shoots like an ion
Yeah.
bolt of some kind, like, you know,
Yep.
which basically it short circuits the electronics
Right.
of
Yeah.
a system, right?
You know, this whole thing where they're like buying and selling droids, to me in Star Wars was a little weird because like, how many droids are they going to find in the desert?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of seemed like that was their
Quite
bait.
a few apparently.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
There's lots of droids walking around the deserts of Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to know the overall droid population
They-
of the
they-
galaxy.
It's a living.
They escape from Mos Eisley, and then they get picked up in the desert by the Jawas.
Yeah, or
Then
Tashi
they get
Station.
sold back at Tashi Station, right? And so that's the economy of Tatooine is this droid circuit, you know, from
Yeah.
Mos Eisley to the desert to the Jawas to Tashi Station,
Gotta
back
keep
to
those
Mos
moist-
Eisley.
yeah.
And we're back.
And we're back to Star Wars. All right, but hey,
The circular economy, Jay.
so it is, and you got to keep those moisture
The
vessels.
Jawas, you have to admire them for their recycling.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they're very environmentally conscious.
They're very environmentally conscious. Jawas.
conscious little things.
So there's two
Nothing goes to
creatures.
waste.
There's two creatures on Tatooine that live in the desert that are clothed in a way where you can't actually see what they look like.
The
Yes.
Tusken Raiders.
And my entire life, because I saw this movie when how old? You know, what was I? What was it?
A
70
fetus?
what?
77 it
8, 9 years
came
old.
out. So you were what?
I think, you know, the
10,
majority of my life, I
You're
always wanted to
9.
see what they look like.
9.
You know what I mean? And I guess
Yeah.
I don't know if that information is actually
It does. Tusken Raiders, you know what they look like?
They have
This
like
is
leather
canon.
face.
They look human, 100% entirely human.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're humanoids.
They're human.
Well, there you go.
Are
They do
they
have
human,
human.
though?
That
or are
is
they
that is
humanoid?
canon. That is canon.
They are humans, though. They're not
We
just.
knew they were humanoids.
Right,
Well, they look
they are.
indistinguishable from humans. No one says they're human, but
Right.
that's what they look like. Well, what's the other one? The Jawas.
The Jawas, though, you know, their eyes can't actually be glowing. That has to be technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're using like
Why
night
not?
vision,
Why
day
not?
vision.
Why can't they be
goggles.
glowing?
Yeah.
They have little
Bioluminescent.
I don't know.
luminescent irises.
Because it's stupidly inefficient.
How do you know? Maybe they use it for sexual communication.
How do you know? I mean, if your goal is to absorb and interpret
Maybe those aren't their eyes.
You're spitting them out. Like that's ridiculous.
Maybe what we're seeing isn't their eyes. We just assume they are because of where they're placed.
I thought it was technology they're wearing.
Human biased.
Because they're
punching them up there, and
it's possible, but my bet is that did not evolve.
My thought is that the Jawas are creatures that live under the surface, and when they come out, they need protection of somehow. They need technology to adjust.
They're naturally subterranean,
like moles, right? You know, moles are blind otherwise, kind of like that.
I do see an image of somebody who drew it basically like what you said, like a rat mole, but like that's
with droid eyes.
Concept art.
Ever see one at Dragon Con? A good
Jawa really good Jawa. Yeah, I have.
So the first time
it's phenomenal. I saw a guy that had all the sound effects.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was yeah. I not to overdo my fandom of Star Wars, but when I saw that movie, I often think out of all the feelings that I felt in my life, one of the top ones was the feeling that I got watching that movie.
Yeah.
And
were you alone in the theater at the time?
No. I was with you and Bob.
So you
that doesn't sound better.
You peak at 11, Jay?
But wouldn't it be incredible if they came up with some technology that would let you feel something like that again? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's called drugs.
Feel vision.
It would be nice to have something that could make you like relive as if it were real a memory of yours, you know,
like a holodeck kind of
like experience a memory in your mind.
What was that movie, Steve, with Natalie Wood?
Yes,
where they recorded it was a device,
Mindscape or something.
I think it might have been Mindscape.
Wow,
I remember that movie making an impression, having that
and
kind
of course the guy clips a loop. This is basically you can record brainstorm.
Yes.
You can brainstorm. You can record someone's brain activity, and then somebody else can experience 100% experience that same brain activity.
All senses,
all sensation, and of course somebody loops somebody having an orgasm, and they're like almost dead, like been just stuck in that loop for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, like an entire weekend. It was it was just not just an orgasm. I mean, somebody recorded having sex with his girlfriend, and then this other guy got a hold of it, and that's what he did all weekend.
Wow.
I mean,
no,
yeah,
that technology existed, man. That would be hard to not get addicted to. You know, like that's not good.
Isn't there a syndrome that people have that, and that's pretty debilitating? Like
they can't switch memories from reality.
No, the constant orgasm.
Yeah, there are people that they hyper orgasm.
That's like pretty debilitating.
I've never heard about that.
Really? Oh, I would wonder if it was a neurological condition.
No, that was actually Natalie Wood, I think, drowned in the middle of making that movie.
Right.
And
Walken was in
they had to edit around that, the fact that she died.
Really?
Yeah.
They finished.
Yes, they did not. And I remember, like at the end of the movie, like Christopher Walken's talking to her, and like you never see the two of them in the same shot. They like cut to her with these generic reactions to what he's saying.
Like obviously a disconnect.
It was an obvious disconnect.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
They had to finish it somehow.
It was tragic.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Anyone 40 or under has probably no clue.
There's no idea what
we're talking about.
Yeah, I only know about it because of the conspiracy around it.
Yes, there is a conspiracy.
There's a conspiracy around Christopher Walken and her and somebody else on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, speaking of messages from the stars, did you guys hear that we
contacted aliens?
We got a message from 140 million miles away.
That's not that far.
What was the message?
Right. Yeah, it was it was a reflection from us of a NASA probe, I think called Psyche. That was launched by NASA in October of last year.
Okay.
So it only made it that far out, but kind of pretty cool. 40 times the distance from the moon.
What was the bandwidth?
Let's see if they've got that here.
It was very high for such a communication.
Yeah. It just represents a significant milestone.
Let's see if I can find it.
Optical communications can interface with spacecraft radio frequency comm systems.
If we're going to talk about NASA, I wrote today about the Boeing Starliner is launching Monday, if all goes well.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be this. If it works, if all goes well, it will be crewed. There will be 2 NASA astronauts aboard. This is the final test of the Starliner capsule. If successful, we will have 2 functioning capsules to get crew into low Earth orbit, which is a lot more than 0, which we had for a while. Now we have the SpaceX Dragon 2 capsule, and then we'll have the Boeing Starliner capsule.
Nice.
Of course, Boeing is still catching a lot of shade for blowing up planes for having terrible quality control.
Oops.
So I think that Boeing really needs this one. They need this for PR. If something goes wrong with this launch on Monday, that would be terrible for Boeing.
Oh boy.
It'd be absolutely devastating.
Yeah.
Real quick, the significance of the laser, though, is that it allows for high bandwidth and speedier connection from Earth to the up to 100 times faster than what is otherwise available.
So this is
that radio signals. Is that
this is to build out these the space communication system.
Deep space communication.
Yeah, they're using the device which is going to the asteroid. What it's supposed to rendezvous when 2029 or something. But I guess they use this as kind of a test for that, and just to see what they could do, and they did. And so, laser communications with spacecraft out there, that's going to be the way to go. And at least it's good from 140 million miles. At least they tested it to that point.
And it's pronounced Psyche, apparently. Psyche.
Yeah.
Not Psyche.
Oh, yeah, Psyche. Right. The Greek goddess.
Well, that's the asteroid.
Interstellar communication.
That's the asteroid that's supposed to be, the idea is or was that this asteroid is really a planetary core that had the mantle and crust blown away. So it's just the core. And they think that it could be all precious metals. So they're saying that it could be worth $29 quadrillion, whatever. But then I read research that they think, maybe it's not.
It's only $28 quadrillion.
It's not as heavy, not as much as they had thought. It will be interesting to see what's really there.
Cool.
This might sound a little weird, but is there an amount of stuff that if we bring to the Earth from outer space that we would change the mass of the Earth in a bad way?
Oh, the mass?
Oh, in a bad? No.
The mass?
I mean,
that'd be
you would change the economy of the Earth.
Right. If you bring a bunch of titanium or something.
Platinum is now the cost as much as aluminum, whatever. If you bring in a massive amount, this is 1,000,000 times more than all the mined platinum that we've ever had.
Which is why I hate when they have news articles about that. Space company wants to mine this thing and get $10 trillion worth of this material. It would not be $10 trillion of that material because it would not be as scarce as it would as for what you're valuing it.
They would crash the value of it in the process.
Right.
That's why
they release all the diamonds that they've got into the world. Diamond values would be like crap.
You'd have to ration it like that, and
right, like the beers does with the diamonds.
Diamonds, yeah.
But Jay, if you landed an asteroid heavy enough, and I'm not sure, of course it would be a catastrophic landing, but if you added enough mass, it would absolutely impact the spin of the Earth or even the orbit of Earth if it was done with a heavy enough object. But it wouldn't even take that much to change the spin of the Earth in a way that was detectable, because there are certain earthquakes can speed up or slow down the spin of the Earth, and not in a dramatic way, but in milliseconds. But it's
measurable way.
It's absolutely some leap seconds, have been added because of changes, a dramatic change because of an earthquake or some shifting of even melting polar ice that's being distributed around the ocean.
So that reminds me of a science fiction novel I read. I don't think it was Douglas Adams. Might have been. But Bob, maybe you might know this. There was a planet that was a popular tourist destination, right? And they had to pass strict regulations that anyone who visits the planet, plus all of their stuff, couldn't weigh more than what they weighed when they arrived. Right, because until that point, there was this constant drain of mass from the planet because people were leaving with more stuff than they were coming with, and there were so many visitors, like trillions of visitors a year. It was starting to add up.
Trillions.
So they,
No,
a
it's,
galactic,
intergalactic.
tourist hub.
That's a popular planet.
Yeah, that's the point. It was a very, very
It
popular
says
planet.
it is a Douglas Adams thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they're
Sounds very
like Jay
dumb,
when he
but-
went to Hawaii and started taking all the rocks and stuff, right?
yeah, right.
That
I
kind
didn't do
of thing.
that.
I didn't do that.
Oh, there are places where
Poor Jay.
they tell you like
Poor
don't
Jay.
take a souvenir, even though you think it's a drop in the bucket. It's like
You don't want to get cursed.
There's a million people who visit every year, but people like a million people removed a rock for a souvenir. It would slowly eliminate.
You'd ruin it for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
I did for my honeymoon. I took a little lava rock from Maui.
Oh,
But I only did it because they said, that
don't do it.
if you take it, you're gonna, because of Pele, you're gonna get bad
Curse.
luck, and that they
Oh, the
said
curse. Yeah.
yeah, they said that people mail back a lot of this rock every year because they take it home, a little piece, they take it home, they have bad luck. Oh, it must be because the god Pele is.
I guess they figured that was more effective than telling people not to do it for conservation reasons.
That's
Yeah, true. But also, it's lava rock, right? Isn't it just going to erupt again, make some more? Come on. Come on.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It's a renewable resource.
It looked like
Yeah,
Swiss
exactly.
cheese. All the gas bubbles
Yeah.
inside it was so pretty. I still have it. This is going back a long time ago.
Are you guys ready for your hologram body now with 6G internet?
6G, finally.
Breakthrough in
I've been having to
6G
suffer
antenna.
with this 5G nonsense for.
Apparently, you can make
6
a
years.
hologram or something. I don't know. I think that's just the media extrapolating
Mhm.
the fact that it's high speed.
Well, I just saw 6G in the headline. I was like, "Whoa, hello." 6G.
I see 5G on my phone. I don't feel like I'm getting 5G.
No, me neither. Although maybe we'll get super COVID with this. Is that what's going to happen if we have 6G?
Scientists
Yeah,
build the
I know.
world's
Remember that
first
craziness?
6G antenna.
How
And
much more data will that allow over 5G?
A lot more.
Let's
A
see.
lot
So
more.
it's a 60 gigahertz millimeter wave band reserved for industrial, scientific, and medical applications.
Where's my slide rule?
That means not for Netflix. You guys won't be able to watch us in 16K.
It says it's 1,000 times faster than 5G.
Is that
Makes
it?
sense.
That's
16K.
wild.
1,000.
Could be.
3 orders of magnitude. That's all.
That's impressive.
Steve says that's all, Bob's. That's impressive.
I mean, 1,000 times. Obviously, the throughput would be massive. That would be nice. to be
Also
walking
reduced
around
energy
with that.
consumption by 88%. That's interesting.
The commercial rollout won't be till the 2030s. Oh gosh, we'll be old by then.
2030s.
Old. That's years from now.
Oh my
That could be
gosh.
16 years
That
from
could
now.
be 20. Yeah.
Oh boy,
But 6G.
2030s.
Gosh, remember when 3G came
Yes,
out? And that
and
was
big.
that was
Mm.
everyone had to have
What?
3G. You're not on 3G.
What was the big one? Was it 2G or 3G? That one that really, where the smartphones really crossed the
I think it was
Rubicon,
3. I think it was 3G.
where you could really stream video. And
Probably
3G, Bob.
LTE, right?
Pretty
Really?
sure it's 3G, yeah.
Oh, there was
3G?
LT was 4? No.
Yeah, it's LTE. I think it's 4G. 3G. I guess 3G.
I'm saying 3G.
Yeah, do you remember when we got the 2400 baud modems? You guys remember that?
Of course.
That was huge.
That was huge. It's the AOL dial-up noise.
funny comment, Sharon.
Modems. Oh my god.
Well, what'd she say?
She said I took the lava and then I didn't see anything in any good astronomical event for decades. Coincidence?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, Bob.
That is true.
Yep. Cause and effect.
Now, if they had said that if you steal lava from Ireland, Pele will curse you with bad astronomical viewing for the next 20 years.
Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
that's a good mixture of things.
We have of pseudoscience,
that.
superstition, and science.
Right, yeah. That would in Bob's mind.
Ev, do you have a game?
Oh yeah, Jeopardy.
We have a
You wanna
game?
play-
Okay,
you wanna do
good.
some
I have
Jeopardy?
one more story, which is this is one of those before we get to the game, one of those things where science and politics kind of meet up, but has a nice little inkling of conspiracy theorists. I mean,
Mhm.
what do you guys think actually I'm not gonna let you guess. Here we go. Ron DeSantis bans global elite lab grown meat
Yep.
in Florida.
Well, what the hell?
And his phrase, the thing he's quoted as saying, Florida is fighting back against the global elites' plan to force the world to eat meat grown in a petri dish or bugs.
Are we being
Wow.
forced?
What an ignoramus.
I
How
don't remember being
short-sighted,
forced
how
to eat
ridiculous.
this.
It's really kind of weird. It's silly. Similar efforts are underway in Alabama, Arizona, and Tennessee, apparently.
Huh. That you think that's lobbyists? You think that's like a beef lobbyists and stuff kind of behind
It's
that?
got to be farmer. I mean,
yeah,
you can have both. I don't see why not.
that's
Farm-
absolutely.
Yeah, it's
part of
really
it.
it's really good to
It's just culture war nonsense.
it's really good to set policy without doing any research. It just really is the right way to do it.
I think there's 3 other states that did similar stuff.
Fuck them. Good. More for us. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but the thing is, Joe, Jay, it's also like stifling, research in a lot of ways. Like if you can't have like a factory or whatever in any of those states, then that could make it harder, to happen. It could stifle the research to a certain extent, and other countries could then run away with the lab-grown meat, technology, to a certain extent. I don't know how.
I don't give a shit what
wants
that
to
guy
look
thinks or
for
says, and let's face it, he tanked so bad in this presidential election. He's a joke at this point.
But who's being forced to eat this? Anybody?
Nobody. It's
Nobody.
And he
bullshit.
kowtows
That's
to Trump.
ginned up
That's
culture
a
war.
Hear that?
straw man if I ever heard
Yeah.
one.
Certainly.
Did you? But did
He
you
bent
see
the knee to
boot-
Trump this week.
Did you see the boot hubbub though with DeSantis? To me, that was the most ridiculous.
The boot?
Mhm.
His boots. He basically had
High
boots
heel
Yes,
boots.
heels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because
and
he's
they were
5'3"
like he was
or
walking
something, right?
on high heels, so that to
Yeah,
give
because
him-
he's a short. He's
A
short
few inches.
person, I guess.
But when
I
you
don't know.
see the boot and his foot in it, I mean, you could really see that he really was doing that. It was
He's just prepping for Florida to be
Pathetic.
underwater,
So
so he's
pathetic.
going to have a little lift, right?
Mhm.
That's
this
that's-
was
Those
not
are
a,
his
this was not
floods.
a lift.
You know the
This-
highest elevation in Florida is 345 feet above sea level.
Isn't it the flattest? Didn't you say that? It's the flattest.
It has,
state?
it has
Or
the
something?
lowest, highest elevation of
Lowest
any
height.
state.
That's what it was. Yeah, yeah.
345 feet.
Mhm.
Isn't that remarkable? That is
No.
flat.
Yeah, it's
That
pretty.
is low to.
That's
that
bad.
is
Also,
low to
it's
the
so
ground.
close to the water.
Oh, I mean, Florida is going to be in serious trouble with global warming. I mean, Disney is going to be screwed.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well,
You guys heard
Um,
the puppy killer story? Somebody mentioned.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
heard all
oh
that.
gosh.
The thing is,
I
you
don't
think
know.
like her VP chances are dead, but the MAGA crowd might love that.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know. I think
don't
it
know.
failed.
Dogs
It was
over
too much?
anybody else.
Even with the MAGA
Dogs
crowd.
over anything.
I mean,
You don't kill
Sometimes you
puppies,
got to
you know?
shoot a dog. What can I
Old Yeller,
do?
right?
Old Yeller.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, but
Right.
why do you? Why is that? Why do you have to make that like a public thing? I don't.
Mhm.
Whatever.
But apparently, I think Don
Total lack.
Jr.'s wife came out with a book about her dog or something just recently, which is kind of like bad timing. So
Gosh,
anyway,
I mean, it's terrible.
we could do the jeopardy if you want to do that.
Sure,
Wanna
I'm,
move on that?
I'm
Yeah.
up for a G party.
How to cook cicada? Oh, right, cicadas are coming out, and apparently they're somewhat edible.
Sure,
They're
We-
edible, but you got to get them when
Most
they're
anything's edible.
just out of the ground,
Just out of the ground.
so that they're still very soft and chewy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, the FDA. I wrote this in the
Don't you have to
email we
crisp them
sent
up, though?
2 weeks ago. Yeah, you fry them. That they are classified as crustaceans
Mhm.
because they have something in them that people who are allergic to shellfish,
Mhm.
they'd
Wow.
also be allergic to that.
How shellfish of them.
Make sure that they're not infected with that.
Oh, right, the
Fungal
virus,
infection.
the fungus,
Yeah.
the butt fungus.
Ooh. Oh, right.
fungus?
Good.
you
Yeah,
say butt
that's right,
fungus?
Bob.
That was
Good-
two.
good-
Yeah,
Good
2
call.
emails ago. We sent an email about they're sexified too, so they like are voraciously trying to mate, and that spreads the fungus. And
Yeah.
Ooh, so they're an aphrodisiac. I got it.
yeah, yeah. The little
Yeah, I
fungus-
talked about it on the
fungi.
show a few weeks ago.
He's a fungi.
Yeah.
All right, we are off to Jeopardy. everybody.
So what I did this week, hello and welcome to our Jeopardy game. I took a bunch of categories from a couple of different trivias that I ran for our Which Game First live stream that happens on Monday nights at 8 o'clock on the East Coast of the United States. Feel free to join us, Which Game First. And this week's categories are Tales, Connections, Time, and Randomosity. You think
Mhm.
you can guess what randomosity is? It's random
I got it.
stuff.
About random numbers.
Now, Steve, you won the last
I did.
game we played. Therefore, Jay is going to choose the first.
I'll take 200 connections for 200, please.
Connections for 200. 1980s television game show
Dating
hosted
game.
by
Gong Show.
Chuck Woolery.
Gong-
Dating game. Match game.
The name of the category is connections.
Connection game. Wait, Connect 4? I don't know. Love Connection?
Love connection.
There you go.
I was like,
Well done, Ian.
we have a game show. We should know more about game
Good
shows.
job,
Chuck
Ian.
Woolery.
Chuck,
Ian, have an extra cookie tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. I did
remembering the category will help you with the
You're correct.
answer,
New Zealand,
except for the
you guys
random
did a
one.
Good job.
All right,
Let's go to randomosity, and to be random, let's start with 200. That's
A
truly
system of numerical notation
Binary.
has 2 as a
good
base.
job.
Binary, Bob.
Barry.
Very good.
Good job, Bob.
Bob.
Let's go 400 randomosity.
On a classic Monopoly board, it is the second space behind.
It's the
go.
$100. It's the
Luxury
$100
tax.
charge. It's you get charged $100 for
Um,
the jewelry finances.
Not luxury tax?
You're on the right track, Jay.
Yeah, it's
Taxes. The one,
Hey, Jay, you got half of it, Steve.
the
No,
property
no,
tax.
Ian
Property
said it.
tax.
Ian said it.
It's not
Ian
property
said it.
tax. What did
Luxury
Ian
tax.
say?
Luxury
I said
tax.
luxury
Luxury tax.
No, no.
I said like
Luxury
Ian
tax.
said it.
Yeah.
It was
Uh,
I was there, man.
You were there. Steve
You
was
were
there, but you
there.
just only had part of the answers.
yeah.
I'm an expert Monopoly player. I kick ass at that
Oh
game.
God, we should do one live.
Oh, play live
Stream.
Monopoly. Oh,
yeah,
just
let's
so
do it.
there's a falling out and the SGU ends. No, just
Mhm.
kidding.
We can make it cutthroat so that it's shorter and sweeter.
Yeah, cutthroat Monopoly. You
all
got it.
right, Ian.
600. Let's go. Randomosity.
A cocktail made with dark rum and ginger beer, served over ice and garnished with a slice
Moscow
of
Mule?
A Stormy.
Moscow Mule.
Jay's got half of it.
Oh,
A cold and
Just
Stormy.
Stormy Daniels.
No,
It's a.
Steve. Dark and stormy.
Dark and stormy.
dark and stormy.
Are you really not going to give that to me?
They should rename it.
That was hilarious.
What just
Okay.
happened? The fuck just happened?
I don't even drink.
You only got half of the answer,
Yeah.
Jay. I'll give you 300 points, okay?
Yeah,
What?
give him a little. Give him a little.
I'll give you the 600 as well, both you and Ian. All right, Ian.
Wow.
Let's go randomosity 1,000.
1,000.
Now we're being random.
It means not conducive to health. And it begins with IN or in.
Inconducive.
Inhospitable.
Ooh.
No,
Inebriated. I don't know.
not conducive
Indigestible.
to health.
Indigestion.
No, no.
I still think it's inhospitable.
It's not.
Inclement.
According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, that is not.
If somebody
correct.
says it in chat, you can pick them.
Let's have a look and see if anyone in the chat has
Invective.
Somebody
how's
said
it going?
Indiana.
Indiana, infirm.
said
No, it's not
infirm.
infirm.
Inchoate.
Just
Yeah.
Evan, look at the chat.
Not
Everybody.
injurious, unhealthy. Nope, not infirm, not infirm. Everyone's coming up with infirm, but no, the actual
I
word
don't know
I'll
if
give
we
it
got
to you
it.
is insalubrious.
Oh,
That's a really cool
Insalubrious.
word.
When was the last time you
Yeah.
used that word?
Yeah, I
Right?
I have a
know.
vague memory of that word.
Insalubrious.
That is a
Insalubrious.
good word.
Good word.
usually
my
you don't.
favorite.
Usually you hear salubrious, not insalubrious. But
Insalubrious.
Yeah.
Usually you hear salubrious.
Who are you talking to from the
But that
17th
form of the word is
century?
more common.
All right, to be
Yeah.
really random, let's go to tails for 200.
Tails for 200.
If
A
you put
coin
somebody
flip
else.
results in these two possible
Heads or
outcomes.
Heads or tails?
Steve, I'll
let
give
Steve
it
got it.
Steve
Yeah.
got it first.
Hey, put me on
No,
the
it can
board.
land on its side. You know what I mean?
400.
The rare, oh yeah, like that Twilight Zone episode,
Right.
right? An animal tail that can grab.
lizard.
Prehensile tail.
Oh yeah,
Prehensile.
Very good. Very good.
Steve, a
I don't
big
got it,
comeback.
great.
600.
Tail's edge.
Having the same general direction as a course of movement.
Tailwind.
Tailwind.
Yeah, Jay.
Wow.
Nice. Good snag.
Thank you.
All right.
Good job.
I
Okay.
will take time for 200.
There you go.
The break at the middle point of
Timeout.
the game.
Halftime.
Halftime. Yeah, Steve got it.
Who said halftime, Steve?
Yeah,
Steve
I
got it
got it,
faster.
yeah.
Yeah.
Steve. Halftime.
Random for 800.
Ah.
A person employed to make public announcements
barker.
in the streets.
Employed.
Not a barker. Barker's carnivals.
Yeah, carnival barker.
A
A
Public announcements in the
solicitor.
streets.
a
Again, Reach back.
Town Crier.
Town Crier.
Hang out, you're dead.
Good job,
That's right.
Steve.
I'm not dead yet.
How great was that? Was that scene? Oh my god!
Connections
Monty Python. They said like the most quotable movie of all.
Yes.
time.
Oh my god. Yeah.
When my daughters saw that movie for the first time, they realized that half of the things that I've been saying to them over the last 10 years
they found
from that movie.
They found your guidebook. Yeah.
Connections for 400.
Someday we'll find it. The lovers, the dreamers, and me.
A Rainbow Connection.
Rainbow Connection.
Rainbow Connection.
What the hell's that?
Kermit.
You don't know that song, The Rainbow Connection?
The Rainbow Connection.
From the Muppet movie, Bob?
Which
No?
one?
Good, Ian.
The Muppet movie.
Wow.
Either that or what is his name? Jordan Peterson. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
600.
A two-player game where you drop checkers to make lines.
Connect 4.
Connect 4.
They're called checkers? I would call
Well,
them-
they are checkers.
I guess. Are they?
Yeah,
I guess
Yes,
so.
they
they're
are.
the same thing. But
Black and
connections for 800.
red things. A scheme through which heroin was smuggled from Indochina
French
to
Connection.
Turkey
Oh,
to
good
France
Jay.
and
French
the United States to
Connection.
Canada. Jay, the French
Wasn't
Connection.
that a movie?
Yeah.
It's a book and a movie. Yes.
Book and a movie.
And the conspiracy.
Academy Award-winning movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Roy Scheider.
Jay.
I will take Connections for 1,000.
All right, Bob, this is your chance to catch up right here, okay?
Yeah, whatever.
What is often referred to as the first computer network connection, initiated in
Intranet.
1966. Not
Internet,
intranet.
ARPANET.
ARPANET.
That's what it
ARPANET.
is.
Steve, was that you?
ARPA.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it
Oh,
before me.
good one.
It's
good
technically
one.
an intranet, isn't it?
Oh.
it's internal. Okay.
I guess it was that the proper name, or that's the acronym.
That's maybe a
Tails for 800.
Tails for 800. If while driving you do this, you
Tailspin.
might end up hitting
Oh,
someone.
Good, Jay. Good.
tailspin.
It is not
Tailgate.
tailspin.
Tailgate.
It is
Oh,
tailgate.
yo.
Yes. That's also a party, but whatever.
Yeah. it's-
Well, yes, but,
Never going to beat Steve now.
Tailgating.
God damn it.
well, I
Um,
control
Within
the
striking
points, but-
distance.
Yeah, you're there.
It's a 2,000 point clip.
Tails. I'm going to say
Tails.
Sonic. No. Okay.
A trick in which the body of a bicycle is
Tailspin?
rotated around the handlebar.
Tail,
Not
Spin.
tail spin. It has a specific term.
yeah.
tail twirl. Tail whip.
Yeah, there you go.
I
Tail
was like,
whipping.
I had to remember
never
the
heard that
video
one.
game playing.
Oh, is that why? Video game? Like,
Yeah, there's like a couple games, like
like
Tony Hawk and-
BMX 12 or
Yeah,
something?
exactly,
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff.
Okay, we're
Um,
down to time.
Let's go to time. You know what? Let's jump right to 1,000, so Jay has a chance. Let's go.
Nice.
Jay.
It was so named due to its common usage
Egg
in
timer.
timing the boiling
That
of this
was
food.
Jay.
Did you say it?
I think Jay got it a
it.
half a second
Jay
before I
got
did.
it.
Well,
Good
There
job,
it is.
Jay.
nice catch up.
I'll take 800.
You might think there are 24 of these around the planet.
Time
Actually,
zones.
There are 40. There are 40
Ooh,
time
that's-
zones.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ooh.
You tell. You say.
I got it.
Oh, did Bob get it?
No, I got it.
What? Oh my god, this game sucks.
Bob got it too. All right. Which one?
600.
2 left.
600.
600. Strutter, Fidget, and Randall were 3 of them.
Timekeepers.
Time Bandits.
Time Bandits.
Oh, time bandit.
Timekeepers.
Bullfoot one.
Over one.
And finally, all right, this is worth 10,000 points, so
Okay.
anyone can win with this question. Ready? This time of day is traditionally
Twilight.
between 5
Happy hour.
p.m.
Happy hour.
and 7 p.m. The category is time.
Oh, happy time.
Dusk.
Happy time.
Time to go home.
No.
Clock out time. Time off. Time zone.
Quitting time.
No.
Quitting time.
No.
Quit
Dusk
time.
time. Twilight time.
Off time.
Let's see if anyone in the chat's got it. Chat.
Tea time.
Dinner
Go home.
time.
It's not tea time.
Dinner
Dinner
That's
time. Supper
not
time.
dinner time is close.
Pizza's on a bagel.
In the
Supper
way.
time.
Supper time. Yep. Supper time.
Oh, supper time?
All right.
That's fun. I like this game a lot.
That was
Yeah,
10,000
it
points.
is.
They got it. Good job, Jay.
Loving the trivia. All right, Steve. Wow, back-to-back wins for
That was good.
Steve.
Yeah.
All
A
right.
slow start, but
Miller
hit
time.
my
All right,
stride.
Bob, I'm gonna have a zombie
No
category
time.
on the next one. I promise you. Okay.
Yeah.
I will do that just for you.
Miller Tau.
Miller
All right,
Tau.
guys, I am slowly digesting myself over here, and I'm getting angrier every minute.
Oh
So I'm
my
going to
Are you
go
Wow.
hangry?
dinner.
Let's ask a couple questions
It's
first.
meatball time for Jay.
Ian, someone donated some money with a question.
Oh,
I think we got to go to
You're
that,
right. I'm sorry. I did see that earlier, and then I promptly ignored it. 'cause I'm a
And the
bad person.
letter J in Jay's name is lowercase, while the rest is uppercase.
That's
He
correct.
did that on purpose. Have you guys been seeing? And it's just because I opened up YouTube, but the AI versions of like 1950s remakes of popular shows like Breaking Bad and stuff like that. And
No.
No.
I'll bring one of those up because that'll be fun. But let me look at the back end real quick while we just sit and talk amongst yourselves, so I can see.
I don't
who's
understand. It's an actual like a film.
So no, it's just an AI
Just a picture.
promo, and so it's moving. So like they're
Oh.
using that thing where like they'll, people will move and stuff. It's why can't I see all the messages? Here it is. Seems that no one's talking about laser communication in space. Its effect on satellite communication, deep space communication. This is a game changer. Oh, so yeah, we did talk about that.
We did that.
Yeah,
we
that was an
briefly
earlier
mentioned it.
one.
We didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else sent in money beyond that to ask a question, but feel free to, if you want to do that. Let me pull up this video real quick.
Olivia says 2 people donated tonight, so somewhere.
Yeah, the other one is blank though, so there's no message.
Oh, okay. Well.
So thank you to both of you.
Thank
Here
you.
it is. So this is like an AI Demon Flying Fox. I think was really popular in blowing up around the AI. What's that fashion brand? Somebody in the chat remind me what it was, but it blew up all over. It was a fashion brand, and it was like a Harry Potter version of like a fashion brand. It was pretty funny. Anyway, he's been doing this stuff.
Anything?
Can you see it?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh.
No.
Well, I'm
I see
just
Bob,
sitting here.
Steve, and Jay.
I'm sitting here watching it like
Enjoying it.
We're
You
waiting
guys
for
know-
you.
Sorry. I was like, wow, this looks
Okay.
cool. Anyway, sorry, here it is. Yeah, Demon Flying Fox. Let me just see.
Breaking
This is
Bad.
1950s. If it were made, Breaking Bad, if it were made in the 1950s.
Oh, I
Sorry
see.
about that, chat. So there's a bunch of them. He's been doing them like
What
nonstop.
software is he using to do these?
So I mean the voice one I'm pretty sure is the 11 Labs one, and the other one I forget. I've used it before. Chat remind me, but it is like subtle movement stuff. You'll see like it'll take the picture and like move his head.
In a time when conformity ruled the land,
Balenciaga, that's
one man dared to break free from the shackles of society. Meet Walter White, a humble high school chemistry teacher. His calm facade hides a desperation fueled by a ticking clock, a cancer diagnosis threatening to tear his world asunder. Alongside him, Jesse Pinkman, a rebel without a cause. Hank Schrader, the dogged detective determined to bring justice. Gustavo Fring, the shadowy figure pulling the strings from the depths of the criminal underworld. And Skylar White, his beautiful housewife, whose elegance belies the turmoil brewing beneath their idyllic facade. With his brilliance, Walter revolutionizes the meth business, creating a product more potent than anything the world has seen. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and so Walter White finds himself entangled in the seedy underbelly of Albuquerque. From the quiet streets of suburbia to the dark underbelly of the criminal underworld, witness the rise and fall of Walter White in a battle for power, survival, and redemption. Breaking Bad, where the American dream meets the American nightmare.
Yeah, but he's done a bunch.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's like a Ghostbusters one, Jurassic Park. He's done a bunch of them. X-Men.
Did you notice in that clip there was a school bus, and on the
Yeah.
front, instead of it saying school bus, it was the jumbled letters
Right.
that AI still
Mhm.
can't resolve. Is that intentional, or is that a feature, not a bug, or a bug?
It's a bug.
It's got to be
It's
a bug, right?
So why can't they? That's persisting. Why can't they fix? Why can't that
They
debug?
can. They just have to do it.
It might just be the software also that he's using. He's not necessarily using the newest version. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean,
Are you-
typically when I see images or whatever of something that was AI generated and there's a word on it, it is going to be misspelt or some sort of weird. They'll throw in an extra E or a vowel or something, right? You've seen that everywhere.
Mhm.
Like that, it can. I don't know that I've seen it where the language or the spelling is correct. So
Yeah, I think
is that just a tough nut to crack for some reason?
maybe if it's just they doesn't really
It
know.
just you'd have to include like almost a separate process,
Yeah.
to generate readable text. It's just not how it works. It's treating everything like art, even letters, right? That's
Runway. That's what it was called. Runway is the one where it like moves your head and like blinks and whatever.
What's the name of that website where you got that video from?
What I just played this, it was YouTube. It's on YouTube. If you log into
What's it
our
called?
account, Demon Flying Fox is his channel, or their channel, I should say, because I actually know.
Okay.
He's got they've got a bunch of subscribers. But Balenciaga one was the one they made, which was pretty popping.
Yeah.
Off. And that was pretty funny. It was they just like said Balenciaga, and it was like Harry Potter. Pretty funny. But I mean, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, they are using AI tools, which have their own set of problems, but making art out of it, you could argue, it's a funny thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. Yeah. It's a little in the gray zone of like morally correct.
No, Star Wars, but in Germany.
Yeah. Oops. Well, that should be on the nose, you'd think. Yeah. So thanks for the super chat. Oh no, it's the same one. Okay, never mind. Looking at that. Let me see if I have some questions in the Discord. Remember, if you are a patron, you can go into the live stream questions channel. The mods will highlight those messages or pin them, and I will look at them. Rogue question for the live stream from Skeptibrarian. Okay, Sharon. If you could go back in time, what advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
Can it be? Does it have to be one sentence, or can it be a collection of things, or is for this thing that we're doing? Is it just
Sports
one piece
almanac,
of
perhaps? Anybody? No? Anybody in the chat? Sports
What?
almanac.
What's the question?
All right.
Sorry, watching Star Wars in German.
We can watch it together if you want me to. Okay, I will find it. If you could go back in time, what advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
What stock to buy?
Yeah, right. Invest in Windows, in Microsoft.
Yeah, and NVIDIA. And,
all those Apple.
things.
Anything maybe not related to money?
No.
Nothing.
Oh wow, how base.
Let's see.
Advice.
The thing is, that's such a hard question because anything dramatic could potentially make it so that the kids that you did have, you won't have, and that just fucks everything up.
That's true.
Well, yeah,
That's
anytime
right.
you mess with the timeline.
So maybe you should
You
go
run
back
that
in
risk.
time, buy those stocks, give them to you after you've established at what?
It'd have to be after conceiving your last child.
So like
That's the
probably
timeline.
50 years old, and then you'd get a couple $100 million.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Right.
That's not terrible.
Yeah,
For
basically,
a lot of people.
you buy stock,
Yeah.
and then you give it to Western Union to deliver it to yourself the day after you went back in time.
Guess I lost the bet. Ha!
So then the next day you get the thing with Western Union with the $200 million worth of stock.
Yeah, we've had that for 80 years.
Yes, we had a bet to see if you would be here.
I mean, to answer the question though, in the heart of the question, because it's basically like a philosophical question, right? Don't worry about your kids not being born and all that stuff. Like, what piece of advice? I would say let's answer it without talking about money.
Uh-huh.
I just asked that.
Boring.
Good idea, Jay. I wish somebody had come up with that.
Yeah. Don't go into neurology.
There's a lot here, right?
No, I'm not.
There's no money in skepticism.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no money.
Don't do that.
Watch out for that.
Gosh, there's so much you could
First step.
advise yourself
You don't
on.
trip and fall.
Later.
All right.
I suppose
let
it'd be
me
to
think
watch
about
out
that
for
for next
certain
week.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Have to think.
Yeah, it's a tough question, because you don't want to screw it up. You have one.
Yeah.
Is that butterfly effect? You might end up with a worse outcome anyway.
Mhm. Mm-hmm.
I would identify the what would be needed to have CRISPR started decades earlier.
Okay. So scientific breakthroughs earlier. That's a good one. Right? But I mean, would you get funding, Bob, though, if you're like a 20-something-year-old who's just like,
no, but
got this idea?
Yeah, they'd lock you away in an asylum and call you crazy.
Yeah.
It'd be tough.
For you, that would, you wouldn't mind that. You went to an asylum this weekend.
True.
Right.
True.
But yeah, that's a good use of that information.
Okay, here's another one. What pizza should I order the next time I go to Frank Pepe's? I went there for the first time recently and got the tomato onion peppers. It was scalding hot puddle of vegetables surrounded by a perimeter of concrete hard crust.
Get the sausage pizza.
Sausage, okay.
If you can.
I would say just the margarita or the clam one I like personally. But that's
I would recommend their pepperoni. Their pepperoni is by far the best pepperoni. Like that pepperoni all by itself is magical.
But I hear you. It's not my favorite pizza in the world because the crust is a little hard.
The coal fire is too much on there. Probably.
Yeah, the best pizza I ever had. Well, the best pizza I ever had in my life was in Pisa.
Well, yeah,
Italy, ironically. But in the United States, it was in New York, and I just remember it was like one of the Nexuses were in New York, and we're like, like in the middle of the day, like, oh, let's grab a pizza for lunch or something. We walked into a random pizza shop, like we came across on the street, and just got like a cheese pizza, and it was freaking awesome. It was just really good. Yeah.
It was.
That was perfect. New York crust is perfect in my mind.
I would say I agree with you, Stephen. I'd say generally speaking, the best food I've ever eaten were both my trips to Italy that I've taken.
Yeah,
it just.
I mean, the sauce.
It was everything. It wasn't even one thing.
Yeah, but
everything was.
The sauce was just so delicious. Like it was just you can't get that in the States.
Yeah.
There was.
I mean, you should go to Modern. Modern is good in New Haven.
Right.
Try that one.
It just. Go
Let's see.
Good.
Question for Steve. My wife gets vestibular migraines. High blood pressure cause this or make it worse? Sorry for talking shop.
It's hard to say. It may have nothing to do with it. Because you can have migraines that are not triggered and just spontaneous and have nothing to do with your blood pressure. But obviously, if you have high blood pressure, you should have that treated. You should get your blood pressure under good control, and if that helps your migraines, great. But it's not something I would count on.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta yell at chat. Okay, stop yelling at each other in chat, or you're banned. Okay.
Yeah, you hear me?
For real. No side conversations. You talk to us, nobody else.
Separate them.
So shut up.
We love you all.
Okay.
Do we have living relatives in Italy? Probably. I don't know that we don't really know them.
Define relative.
Yeah, define relatives. I mean, our
Distant
father's mother came to the United States from Italy when she was 14, and she has family over there. We just have no connection with them.
What was her maiden name?
Where were they from?
Not Corrado. That's grandma. God, what the fuck was her maiden name? I don't know. I forget.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah, whereabouts in Italy?
She came from Padua.
Padua.
And our mother's mother came from Naples, Neapolitan. Pasta Vazul. Yeah, she spoke with the Neapolitan accent.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Fazul.
Our father's father was Northern Italian, but we don't really know more.
That's pretty cool.
And our mother's dad, where from Sweden was?
Yeah, and then our mother's father's family was from Sweden. We have living relatives in Sweden, just as close as in Italy. And we met them actually. When we were really young.
Yeah.
I remember they gave us knives.
Super sharp.
Those like fishing knives.
Super sharp.
And I kept it for the longest time. I kept it in my fishing tackle box, and I lost that tackle box with all the moves that have happened over the years. But unfortunately, really upset about that.
Yep.
Guys, I gotta go.
All right,
Yeah,
let's go.
it's
Speaking of
6:30.
Italian,
Oh, this is
Alrighty.
it.
it's food time.
That was,
Well,
that was
that's
a plus
all
90
right.
minutes, man.
Have we tried surströmming? Should we try that on stream? I don't think you guys will. No, Steve won't do it. Definitely.
What's
but
what?
Surströmming? It's like a Norwegian or Swedish. I think it's Swedish actually. It's like this fermented fish in a
No,
can
that's
thing
not
that
happening.
like it smells terrible. Apparently,
Yeah.
you can't bring it on public.
Generally,
transport.
I don't eat fish or things fermented. So
But
fermented
cheese.
fish,
You have cheese. You like cheese, right?
certain kinds of cheese.
Certain kinds.
Ah.
Sardo, right? Argentinian.
Sardo,
sardo.
Argentinian
Night, guys.
sardo.
Bye.
is
Fun. All right, we gotta go. Sorry.
All right.
See you
Bye,
later.
guys.
everyone.
To be continued.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
Happy Star Wars Day.
Happy Star Wars. May the something.
Skeptic's Guide to the Universe is produced by SGU Productions, dedicated to promoting science and critical thinking. For more information, visit us at theskepticsguide.org. Send your questions to info@theskepticsguide.org. And if you would like to support the show and all the work that we do, go to patreon.com/skepticsguide and consider becoming a patron and becoming part of the SGU community. Our listeners and supporters are what make SGU possible.
Moi and Ian.
Oh my gosh.
You know, Jay
What
used to be a
happened?
part of the post
used to.
extreme show, but lately he's been, you know, kind of getting hangry and having to run off places and
I know.
not sticking it out to the
It's 'cause
end. Like,
people are talking about surströmming in the chat. Also, sorry, Norway. I didn't mean to say that you. Well, doesn't Norway have that green head shark or something? Isn't that just as bad? So, like, you cut it out too. But anyway, we're back. Oh God.
we are back. All right.
Gotta
What kind of
get out of
secrets
again.
can we disclose in this particular
That's
episode?
true.
In
Ooh.
this, what do we have?
Secret
What kind of
things.
dirt do we
We should make
have?
up a meme that people just start talking about in the next stream that they won't get.
Start an unfounded rumor right
Ooh.
now
Uh-huh.
that somehow works its way back to Steve. And he's
Yes.
like, and it's like, where did that come from? I gotta think about that. That'll take a little bit of planning. I don't think I can just come up
Uh-huh.
with something convincing off the top of my head.
One time I saw him eat fried fish at a buffet. That doesn't make sense.
I may or may not have seen Ian consume meat.
No, you didn't see nothing. That never happened. Also,
I said I may or may not have. It
you
could have
may-
been.
that's the
It could have been
travel,
a
it doesn't
grand
count.
illusion.
It doesn't
or,
count when you're traveling. It
and,
doesn't count.
you know, it could have been all the peyote I ate that day.
Yeah,
or
that was
something.
your drugs. Then have a better marathon show. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there should be. It would be maybe a fundraiser or something like that. If enough, you know, we have a pledge level, and at a certain point, Steve has to eat a fish, and at another point, he has to eat something
never do
fermented, and at the next point, he has to have a sip of alcohol, and the next
He's
point,
just
he
gonna
has,
say no.
he has to go on a mescaline trip after
The
that.
lab meat sounds. I mean, I would do that. I would try the lab meat. I'm trying to rumor the SGU will have Yuri Geller on as a guest for the 1000th show.
Oh, forget it. Yeah.
That's a great one.
Yeah. Except
That's
that's not
good,
gonna
Sharon.
happen. He's like, Uri Geller would be like,
I like
who and
chocolate.
what? And
Olivia asked Evan and Ian, "Do you like chocolate? I can bring
yes.
one." Of course.
What do you mean you can bring Swiss one? Are we going to meet you? Are we going to see
Olivia's
you?
coming to the 1000th show.
You're coming to the 1000th show?
That's fun times.
Oh my gosh! And you're going to bring like European chocolate, like the real good
real
stuff.
chocolate.
Oh my gosh, we'll be besties forever.
Chocolate
if
that
you
is
do
not that is not grown in Europe, but somehow they figured out how to make it better.
I don't know.
Then again,
Yeah, it's something.
We use some like rotten milk thing, which is such a weird. You're coming to all 3 shows? That's awesome. We have a
Dynamite.
4th show that we can't tell you about. We don't.
Dynamite.
I'm just kidding. Swiss, not European, Swiss. Very.
Okay. Well, I mean, you've got, the German faction of chocolate, right? The Belgian faction, the
That's
Swiss, everybody's got, got
Spanish?
their, we are the best chocolate. It's like the
Yeah.
chocolate wars. Ooh, that'd be a good science fiction book, actually. Chocolate.
To never drink it. You're right. Grimbeard has figured out why he won't say it, that he's discovered time travel. Steve really died of liver disease, age 45, but he went back in time and told his 20-year-old self to never drink alcohol. So he's still here.
Smart.
So he has invented time machine
Yeah,
travel.
I mean, disprove that. I mean,
Swiss chocolate is to die for.
Change my mind, right? That kind of thing.
I like dark chocolate personally, but you could do like any of the ones, like hazelnut is dope. Whatever you recommend. Honestly, you are the pro.
Well, I'd rather not have nut in my chocolate, frankly.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I would
You just
prefer
don't
nut.
like it in
So
general?
if I can have something that's not nut with
No nuts.
chocolate, I'll take a filling, a caramel or
Well, a peanut is technically a legume. Does that count? Or
I will have a peanut in the
occasion.
chocolate, but
okay.
So
It's a culinary nut, although praline oil. Yeah, that's true.
good stuff. So some board game stuff people are
Oh, yeah.
asking about.
Board game stuff.
Hyperium's a great game. Thank you, Dan White.
Ooh.
Backed on Kickstarter. Could be good for our other podcast. Absolutely. We're always keeping an eye on that.
Mhm.
On those kinds of things.
No, not Evan.
Other Kickstarters
Oh,
out there. We're going to be talking soon on an episode of we have the main podcast, Which Game First, and we have a second podcast we do for our patrons called Bonus Points, which we release every other week.
That's good.
And on an upcoming Bonus Points, we're going to be talking about some of the Kickstarters that have caught our fancy. So it's a good time for you to also become a patron of Which Game First. Go to our website, whichgamefirst.com. You just hit click the button there, become a patron. It's $3 is the buy-in, and if you can do more, great. But $3 will get you that extra podcast that we produce. So thank you. And yes, we'll be talking more about Kickstarters coming up soon on our Bonus Points podcast. Ian, this is only a drill. Okay. So
God dang it. Not prop-based puns, too. I'm gonna take away this QR code with Which Game First.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Up in the top left, if you want to.
Am I pointing to it correctly?
This might make it easier for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Didn't know about that. We'll go on that now. Very good. Yeah.
All right. I'm good for a couple more minutes. If you are, Ian, it's up to you.
Sure. I think
so. Ask me anything. Consider me your oracle.
Oh God, maybe not anything.
And I will come up with an answer, which has a chance of being correct.
Yes.
So.
And if the question is bad, I ban you. That's how it works. Sorry.
So ask me.
That's them's the rules, y'all.
If you want more puns, I have a running list. If you want anything, you can ask me about financial matters. You can ask me about geopolitical things. You can ask me about scientific things. You can ask me about...
Is the lint we get in the States the same?
That's a good. Okay, so to that, can I comment on that?
Please.
When we went to Australia, for our people down, Tim Tams was the cookie, the biscuit, sure. the sweet of choice, like so good. So then you come back to the United States, and look, there's Tim Tam on the shelf. Oh. It ain't the same thing. It's totally different. I mean, totally different. It's like shaped the same, and it's the it's a cookie, with a chocolate covering and whatever is in the inside. It just is not the same. Not the same. So there are differences. Lindt, I'm sure in Europe, I would guess, is different than the Lindt chocolate you would get here in North America. Definitely, I've noticed.
And we don't get any musk sticks around here. If anybody remembers if anybody from Australia is still listening, those musk. Did you taste any of those musk sticks?
Yeah, yes, I was tricked into poisoning myself with one of those ones.
It is cleaner. I, in a weird way, like it, but it's like not something I would want a lot of. I also like lavender flavored stuff. Tax question: Evan, are hush money payments to porn stars tax deductible? Asking for a friend.
No, they are not tax deductible. And in the case, if you're following, the crazy Donald Trump stuff.
Oh, is that about?
Yeah. According to what I've read, it was classified as a
Musk sticks.
non-deductible expense in their books, so they correctly classified that as far as the general the GAAP rules, GAAP,
Yeah.
general accounting and principles. So yeah, they're okay there for that.
Gunstick, have you tried WTN? You know, what's that noisy or whatever? Who's that noisy rather? At theskepticsguide.org. WTN should work, or info@theskepticsguide.org. That should work. Also, the contact form should work on the homepage and on the website. So there's that. Musk sticks are awesome. I know it's like a weird. I think it's if you grew up with it, you're just like into that. I kind of like it, but it's like a weird.
It's how would I describe the flavor? Nail polish remover. That would be the equivalent.
Yeah, you know.
Taste.
So if you like drinking nail polish,
so if that floats your boat, hey,
which, you know what I mean.
There are people out there eating cicadas with the sex disease or whatever the hell's going on with those things. What is it?
Yeah, the fungus.
Parasite, the fungus.
Parasite, yeah, butt fungus. Since Steve has his PhD, can we have a Dr. Amma?
I like that. Yes. Steve does not have a PhD.
That would be a funny thing to have Steve and maybe Kara.
Kara has the PhD. Steve has the MD.
MD. That's true. But they are doctors, at least.
Well, sure.
They could have a drama podcast where they just talk about drama topic. I'm not conveniently ignoring you, Kelly. Okay.
Dr. Amma.
I'm just not looking at what you said. Are there pun-based board games we can subject the into? No, there are not pun-based board games. How would that even work?
I don't know, but I'm writing that down because that's
that
a good idea.
It's just me sitting across from Evan as he lobs puns at me, and then he gets points for everyone as I slowly receipt.
It's like being at the dunk tank at the carnival. You sit there until someone hits you with the baseball. You go clunk.
Yeah. Are you a redhead? And if so, when did your hair color fade?
Yeah. Yes, I am a redhead. And it started to quote unquote fade when the gray started to come in. So probably if you look at pictures of me from how many years? 15 years ago, you'll see that I was orange pretty much, but since then I've been graying out. And so this is a combination of gray, what's left of the orange with the gray.
Orange, you glad to go gray?
Get that? And I like my hair color. I actually like it like this more than I liked it orange, to tell you the truth.
That's true.
Because this reminds me more of a blondish sort of texture to it.
That's
but
true.
The beard is very gray. But I'm not, I'm not so vain that I'm going to be coloring anything on me anytime soon.
No blue or purple? Any of that fun?
Nope. Nope.
No soul. Right. Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm a half ginger. My beard is ginger, so I have half a soul. So half gingers, full gingers. Chocolate covered fried cicada sounds good. That's not a question, and I will ignore it. Thank you so much for that. Is that an old 100 Deutschmark banknote on the shelf?
Banknote on the shelf. All right, let's go to the shelf.
Let's
join me to the shelf while I take the walk across my room to the notes.
If you're allergic to shelf,
you're noticing things in the background,
then look away or something. No.
All right, what I have here is a 5-pound note with Sir Winston Churchill. And the neat thing about this is that you can see through. Oh, and the Queen, and a picture of Queen Elizabeth.
The Queen.
God save the Queen, except she's dead. So that's what that is. That note is a 5-pound, and I just like the Winston Churchill kind of thing. So that's what I did there.
Are insects vegetarian? You'd have to ask them. So you didn't fly to Nova Scotia to see the eclipse. Was there a Nova Scotian eclipse happening?
Did it hit Nova Scotia? It may have. That arc that it took, it may have bent in that Nova Scotia direction. I didn't see it. I only concentrated on Texas because that's where I was going to be. So I really didn't even pay much attention to other parts.
Right.
What else?
Kelly, don't text me images of a game called Punderdome so that I accidentally reveal it to Evan. No.
Punderdome, thank you. Coming up
Thanks a lot.
soon on a new episode of Which Game First, in
I
which Ian will
shan't
be the
be
special
listening.
guest.
Nope. I
Special
refuse.
guest, special reviewer.
I refuse. I rebuke thee, Satan. Okay. All right. I think that's good. Unless anybody else has anything
All
else.
right.
We'll
No,
see you
no,
next
good.
week.
I'm sorry we didn't get to all your questions this week, but next time we do this, we'll do this again, provided that
We
Ian
shall
has
do it
the
again.
time and
That's right.
inclination, and I don't,
And
totally
the
make him
care.
a full enemy of him with
not,
my
not
puns.
just yet.
So I'm
Yeah,
slowly
not-
eroding. It's like an ice sculpture that melts.
Mhm.
You can only enjoy it for so long before it,
Mhm.
and that. So Ian's tolerance of my puns is that ice sculpture.
Yes.
It is over time it melts away.
I am the cliffs of Dover, and Evan is whatever ocean that is. The Atlantic, I guess.
I like the British
Cliffs of
reference
Dover.
there.
Thank you.
So Winston, yeah.
So-
We will never surrender. I say we will fight in the streets. We will fight.
All right. Bye.
Before we go, one last thing before we
please.
go. I want to
Please.
know people's thoughts about. I once introduced, pitched Steve on a segment for SGU, in which I would channel a famous, dead person.
Sure.
And it would be like a fun poking fun at spiritual contact mediums and the John Edward that's so. But Steve has shot me down multiple times on that. So I want you to think about that and see if you think that would be a good segment.
Yes.
To someday bring into Skeptic's Guide as kind of my extra special segment thing,
Sounds good.
and we could have fun with that. All right, so I wanted to throw that out there. Ian,
All
thank
right.
you.
All
As
right.
always,
Bye,
appreciate it.
bye.
Thank
No
you all
puns
for
in the chat.
watching and continuing to support us.
Yes.
More great
Listen to the
stuff
stream.
coming up.
Listen, not to the stream. Listen to the podcast tomorrow. There you go.
Listen
It
to the
comes out
podcast tomorrow,
as ever.
Wednesdays. Don't forget to tune in on Wednesdays for the what do we call that show?
I don't know. We're gonna come up with an actual name and like phrase.
That would be helpful because
we're gonna zhuzh it up a little bit, so that'll be fun. And also, I think tomorrow's episode technically is like the 19-year of doing the podcast,
and we'll be talking about that as
Everything
part
you
of
guys talked
in the
about.
introduction part
Right.
of the
So,
show. We'll be
because
talking
May
about
5th or 4th of 2005, right? So
correct
19
2005
years.
Whoa.
Thank you for the watermelons, everyone.
Wow,
Love you.
oh boy,
I love the watermelon.
it's gonna be awesome. All right.
That's what it's. Oh, you don't know about the watermelon situation? Okay.
Oh, we don't know about. Oh my gosh,
We
that
have
is
to know.
SGU.
Don't tell.
At the
them.
1,000. Okay, we will.
We shan't be playing it.
There's so much to talk about when we
No,
get to that 1,000th episode
show-
and our retrospective.
what happened to
1,000 episodes of
my
this. Oh my
failures.
gosh, it's gonna be awesome. Ian, you're gonna love it.
Okay. Watermelons for all. We'll have them for free. in the back. All right. Goodbye.
Good night. Thanks,
Bye
everyone.
bye.
Bye-bye.